Demo riders, we want some, not bad things, but some problems, because that's your world at home. Everything is not working out every day, you know, not for me either. That's why it's quite interesting. We can see some horses do that, some horses are doing that. So these horses is not, all of them is not 100% ready for what I'm doing and asking for. And then we can see some small things. And so I think it's really good when you have these questions. And we can, I get a lot of questions around the world. When can I start to do that? When can I start to do the PF? When can I start to do the flying change? And I said, there is not a special age that when the horse is 7, 5.5, then you do the flying change. It's again, you have to listen to the horse, if the horse is ready for it. Personally, and there's quite many agreeing with me, we all know that as older a horse is, as more difficult. It's like a dog. To relearn an old dog is really difficult. It's the same with us. If you start with a 7-year-old child to learn English in Europe, here is of course very easy, but here in America you learn Swedish, then it's more difficult. That child is learning 3 double quick that if I should start to learn it now. This is the way it is. We have too much things in our head already. And I think with the flying change, as soon as the horse have a good balance in the canter, you can feel that you can change the steps on the horse. The horse is, for the age, good enough in the balance and carry himself good enough for his age. You can start to play with it, even if the horse is 4 years old. But I'm not talking about really asking for perfect change. But starting to do the work, you know, with simple change, transitions, and when everything feels good, why not try it once? And then I'm going to explain a little bit how I used to do that. Why? And then some people say, okay, you cannot start to learn a 4-year-old changes. I'm not really starting to learning it like this, that I'm not asking him to do it perfect. But I start in time, because I don't want stress with it later on. I want to have the possibility to say, okay, now I don't do it for 3 weeks. Because he was good now, I do something else. And then it's growing in his head a little bit. That's my feeling. I also did like this. When I was younger, I was reading in the book and standing. First the horse must be really confirmed in canter, and then in that time you were competing a lot in, I don't know what the name here, 4th level? I mean the level just under medium, where you have a lot, 2nd level or something, okay. And you have canter and everything. And then you have these horses, they are 6, 7 years old, they are going 1 season or 2 seasons in canter, sometimes in a really bad balance. All the time they're coming in the corner and they do canter, and that's quite easy. Even a horse out of balance you can ride the canter, but maybe they are flat and everything. And then, now there is 7. Now he must do a change there. And they are not doing a change, because they are so used to go out of balance in canter. So, this is totally wrong way of learning a horse, because they are so much living in the past, you know, in the history, and remember things, you know. And it's much easier to concentrate on the canter quality and to learn the horse very, very early, that when you're changing the direction, it's possible to change the canter. In the nature, they are doing it. Maybe not exactly the right way, like we do it with the hind legs first. But sometimes they do it. You can see it in the paddock where the horses are cantering around. It's the most natural thing is to change when you're changing the direction. So that's also the way we're starting to learn it when they are young. I have much more success with changes when I can start in time, no hurry, I can just leave it for a while, and I don't need to feel that oh, he must compete in this 6-year-old championship now. He must do the change. And then you're getting in stress, you're doing too many changes, and you have frustration of the horse. So I teach the horse that the diagonal line is a straight line. And I also really think about myself, like if I was cantering in a tunnel. I look at the letter, and I'm thinking like, here is a tunnel with 2 walls. I'm not allowed to go to the left and to the right. I cannot do it. I just stay in the tunnel. And I can do like she did now. I can do a halt. If the horse starting to be resistance in the end, you know, like getting strong or don't want to make short steps before the transition, then I just repeat it. Later on, after a while, when he's really waiting on me, and I can feel that I can do quite good transitions. If the transition is from the canter to the walk, a little bit like this, you know, that's very normal with a young one. They do this, and then they start to go in the walk like this, really running away. Then I just do like Elizabeth did. I do a halt. And then, even if he's a little bit against the hand, I just stop the horse. So he has to stop. And then I stay still, and I wait until the horse starts to relax. After a while, this is maybe looking very boring work, but this work is extremely important when you start later on with the flying change, because if the horse starts to move to the right or to the left, when you start to be closer to the point where you want to do the change, or making himself like a shrimp, you know, going 2 tracks, I'm 100% sure that the change is not going to be successful. The really most important with a young horse in the beginning is that the horse is straight in the body and straight in the neck before you try to make a change. But you can't put your students to make changes if the horse is long in the neck, not on the beat, not in balance. Then you're going to destroy the work with it, to learn the horse to canter the changes. So, but it's nothing to do with the age of the horse. It has to do how the horse is balanced and how good the canter is. It's the canter who is doing the change, and the timing for the rider. The aids we're going to talk about later on a little bit more. When you have done this work, and that work could be a little bit daily. I do it with my young stallion First Wish. He's turning 4 this year. I ride a lot of diagonals. I haven't even tried to make a change yet because he has quite a big canter. And I'm just concentrated to make a little bit bigger steps in the beginning of the diagonal and a little bit more forward, and try to learn him to make, without taking too much in the mouth, short steps before the transition in the corner. But as soon as I can feel that he's coming back very much on himself and straight, I try to make a change. And when I do it, I just do it like bringing him out of balance. And if he is straight and really good in the canter, normally they are jumping to the left, from the right to the left, correctly, because horses are like that. If you prepare it really well, if you start to be hot, you just collect, walk, collect, halt. All the time, this system, and all the time, the horse has to wait on you on this. You can also try to, personally, I have best success with changing all the time. Not doing change, go back, do a lot of transitions again for 2 days, and then when that's good again, I do a few change again. Never do too many change a day with a young horse. If they are good in the preparing work, and you do left and right like Elizabeth did now, and the horse is young, you should be really happy with that for that day. And I think it's good because the horse knows very well that if I go there, I have to turn over. It's a changing of the direction. It's a little bit natural for the horse. But if you looked at Elizabeth now, she didn't really do the change, really stuck into the corner, because that can also be really good, really difficult for the horse. If you do it too late, too close to the corner. Try to make the aids with a young horse when you are still on the diagonal line. For example, the aids here, when you still have some space, yeah? Not really, not waiting until you are here in the corner, because then everything is stopping up too much, yeah? For the young one. Always on the diagonal line. A few transitions like that. Short diagonal, M, E, you make a transition to walk, Elizabeth, by the center line, and then simple change, and then you go left canter again. This is just to show. But this is when this you can start to do already when, just with the transitions. And, very good. And this is very, very important, that the horse can do this and stay straight. And with a young horse, it's not working out that good as with Elizabeth's horse. Maybe they are more youngsters, but just keep on doing it. And this work you can start to do before they are confirmed. When they do the changes in the corners, just to do a lot of transitions, and the horses start to react on your aids and the signals. Good. Okay. And then it's the same here. You can do a flying change next time, Elizabeth. When you feel that everything is fine, then you think about the canter, to have the energy in the canter, like before. Before we were riding a little bit forward, and then we took the horse up, and now, good. So energy again. Okay. There it was. There you could see one thing. Normally with young horses, they can get very, very easy long in the strides. Don't try to change when the horse is feeling like that. Never.